Welcome back. Senator Ted Cruz, along with other Republican senators, now moving on a new bill that would extend Title 42. That lets border agents remove illegal immigrants due to COVID-19 fears and concerns. Joining us now, National Border Patrol Council Vice President Art Del Cueto. Art, it's always great to have you on, but the Biden administration may remove this Trump policy in just about 2 weeks' time. Are you worried about a new surge of illegal immigrants at the border if they do get rid of this policy?
Not only a new surge, but it would be catastrophic. What people fail to understand is when you do things like that, it creates a domino effect. Not only does it create more individuals wanting to come into the United States, realizing that nothing will be done, but it also it allows the cartels, the drug cartels, the human smugglers, and the sex traffickers to focus in on that so they themselves can get their product across and continue, pretty much breaking our nation's borders.
Liberals say we're not doing enough to help those fleeing hardship. Conservatives say, wait a second, the border is weak. Drug cartels, human traffickers are abusing the border. People are getting killed coming here. Your thought on this? You and I talked about how drug cartels are purposely distracting Border Patrol, but with the use of human smugglers, sending people across one part of the border in order to distract away from the other side of the border. This is a tough question. Are drug smugglers and human smugglers basically dropping babies over border walls and abandoning them on highways or in deserts in order to distract, to get drugs across in a separate section of the border?
No, they most certainly are. Not only that, but when you talk about the humanitarian aspect of the entire situation, what this administration is actually doing is it's encouraging people to come across. It's encouraging these groups to use this human traffic in order to bring their product across. This administration is solely responsible for any single individual that is suffering while coming through into the United States illegally.
Let's comprehend this and stay on this for a second. This is unimaginable evil, to use children as a way to distract in order to move narcotics across the border. I mean, this is just beyond immoral. What do you say?
These drug cartels, the human smugglers, obviously, and the sex traffickers, they don't care about who they affect as long as they get their product across. And once again, they're continuing to do this because of the domino effect, because of the lack of fortitude from this current administration and them encouraging the criminal element to continue coming into the United States.
Let's move on to this story. The Washington Examiner has been reporting this too. The Trump administration said to China, stop producing fentanyl. This is the new face of the next chapter of the opioid crisis here in the U.S. Stop producing it. China said, yeah, we'll stop producing it. China instead turned to manufacturing the ingredients for fentanyl. They started shipping the ingredients for fentanyl to Mexican drug cartels. The Mexican drug cartels make the fentanyl, but they can't launder the money. Now we have Chinese money launderers helping the Mexican drug cartels launder their profits off of this illegal drug. So China is in it on the front end, on the back end. Your thoughts on this?
For the longest time, you've known that the criminal element, they'll reach across the entire world, not just, from one country to another. They work across the entire globe, and they continue to do so because it's facilitated by governments and by weaker governments allowing this to happen. Unfortunately, right now, what we're seeing is the current administration encouraging the criminal element to continue to do things and even stretch further into other parts of the world because they're not doing anything here in the United States. They're not creating policies to go after these criminals. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're opening more doors, opening more loopholes, and allowing them to do such things.
Art, your final word on this. Do officials in Washington who are in Congress or in the administration, do they understand that fentanyl and the opioid crisis is really slamming states in the Southwest? It's slamming states in the Northeast, that every state is a border state when you have drugs like this pouring across the country where, just 2 milligrams can kill somebody, right? So this is a real serious issue. Do people get it?
You know, I think more and more they're more focused on, keeping mean tweets off of certain social media and focusing on their own futures within politics than to really care about the American public. And it's really sad because we've said securing our nation's borders, it has nothing to do with just one political party. It affects everyone in this country.
Got it. Art Del Cueto, thanks for your service to our country. Thanks for coming on.